you never see, do you? And he's a producer for BBC, and he said that just before the first advert for this show was supposed to air, a call came from on high and it was pulled. And he's never known of anything to be made and for the money to be done to advertise and everything, and for it to pull, it's the only thing. So it would surprise you to know that the Catholic Church still holds a massive influence. Even a few years ago, hundreds of bishops were found to have abused children. Hundreds. Can you imagine any other organisation with hundreds of its managers accused of child abuse that would still just carry on regardless, and no one would say anything? They could just basically do whatever they want. So might make you incredulous, but the control of the mind and the images and the things that the mind's thinking about create a kind of power that you can't really see. Sort of puppet master power. Anyway, there was a whole thing about not everyone accepted the calendar change because they knew what it was. They knew it was the Catholic Church trying to impose its will upon the people of the world. And so England didn't take the calendar until the 1650s, neither did America. Russia didn't take it till the 1850s, Japan didn't take it till First World War, Greece didn't take it until the 30s, the 1930s. So for like 300 years, many countries did not accept the Gregorian calendar. There were riots about it, it was a big deal. But once the last few countries fell into line and had the distractions of the two world wars, everyone forgot about calendars, and they got away with it. However, in 1850, August Comte, that's a shit ruler, wouldn't you? Would you say that's a dysfunctional shit ruler? What are you giving me that? How can I measure anything accurately with that? That's exactly what the Gregorian calendar is. Completely unquestioned, is that we're using an irregular ruler of time because the months aren't equal. That's why you get a situation where I have no idea of the date at the moment, but it's very difficult. If today is a Saturday and it's the 20th, to know what day of the week the 20th of July will be on. Anybody know? If you try and work it out, you have to try and figure out how many weeks fit into the month and which day and all that kind of stuff. Simply because there's no regular pattern to it, because it's irregular and illogical. It literally makes it difficult to think about time in cycles, which is exactly what the Babylonians wanted. They've created a calendar which makes it difficult to think about time in cycles. So think about time as an inexorable arrow going in one direction. It's just, you're impelled into the world of Babylon. This is how it's always going to be. This is how it's always been. Work, work, pay your taxes, work, work. The idea of cycles allows you to think that things change and transform and come round again. You always get another chance and things come round again. You can change. Whereas that thing, no change. Arrow, arrow, linear, arrow. So they've done a very good job, and we're doing a very good job in undoing that. How much time have I got?
All the time in the world.
You got it, Unc. So yeah, we can talk about the alternative to that. What was that? That's the one. 6.5 years. Okay, we'll talk about 2012. Exactly. Now, all of this whole thing about the battle of the sexes, the dominator, the partnership culture becoming a dominated culture, and us losing touch with a side of ourselves, let's say, the side of ourselves that's in balance, in rhythm, in resonance, in harmony, both with our own spirit, with the opposite sex, with our children, with our old people, and with our planet. The side of us that's out of tune, out of touch. Now there have been things done deliberately to make that happen, but looked at from sort of the biggest perspective, if after all we're all one, these negative forces of Babylon are really just an outer manifestation of our shadow, of our own ego, what we've all got going on inside us. And the way I like to look at what's happened over these last 20,000 years is that partnership society, where things were fairly idyllic. It wasn't utopia, it still had problems, but they were fairly idyllic compared to today. As always in life, you need a challenge to grow. With no challenge, you can't grow. And so in that kind of fairly idyllic life, the group of consciousness of mankind, or let's say the higher consciousness of mankind, decided that it wanted to evolve to the next level. It evolved to the level of being able to have a self-reflective consciousness, to be able to think what we think about. It wanted to go to the next level, and it drew upon itself the challenge to allow it to do that. It drew upon itself its own shadow, its own darkness, and it drew upon itself the blade, or what I call, and what's led to what I call hell world, the one we live in, hell world. And it drew upon itself to say, well, the greatest challenge is to love without conditions, to love without wanting anything back, to love without expectations, to love when things are going wrong, to love when you're not getting your own way. Anyone can love someone who loves them totally, and everyone can be happy when everything's going your own way. But it's how you are when things aren't going your own way. That's the real growth. And so we pulled upon ourselves a world, and created a world a bit like a caterpillar creates a chrysalis or a cocoon, in order to go through the challenge of learning how to love when it doesn't look like anybody else's. And just as a caterpillar has to die to become a butterfly, we kind of have to go through a death process. And so the way I look at it is this 6.5 years we've got to 2012 is the time for us to see the whole of history and all of this injustice and all of this, the loss of what we had before, as now an opportunity to rise to the challenge and say, okay, we lost all these things before, but nothing is ever lost in the universe, it just changes form. The law of thermodynamics says that energy is never destroyed or created. Nothing's ever lost, it just changes form. And we've been changing form for a while, and we have the opportunity to change form again and change back into a species that is in touch and is in tune and is in partnership. And to do it in the context of the world that we live in would be an enormous evolutionary leap. And so we would actually fulfill the purpose of history by transcending history and moving into the post-historic world of niceness. That's pretty much it. Any questions? Jesus. No, it didn't. It was a couple of years afterwards, wasn't it? We measured from something like 4 AD. I mean, it was retrospectively done, wasn't it? We started measuring it retrospectively after the Romans. Okay, basically after Constantine made Christianity the official religion. 300 years afterwards. Yeah, 300 years after, they retrospectively said, okay, that's the year 0 because Jesus was born there, and then they got it wrong. Believe me, these Romans and Vaticans, they got it all wrong. If they did anything with it, they got it wrong. Because they didn't understand that time was cyclical and now-centered, as the Mayans did, and the Egyptians did, and the Tibetans did. They saw it as linear because they came from a dominator mindset. And the dominator mindset isn't interested in interconnection and cycles, it's interested in dominating in one direction, this is the way. So they didn't really have a chance. There is no such thing as time. Yeah, we can get all paradoxical right now, the eternal moment of now and all that. But in the same way that we are spiritual beings, we find ourselves in bodies, and so we find ourselves in this reality. And in this reality, people think about the brain kind of in the wrong way, because what the brain actually